Conor McGregor is very confident in Dillon Danis in his upcoming boxing match against Logan Paul. Dillon versus Logan is supposed to go down on October 14th, but who really knows at this point? Conor said Dillon will win for sure. They're already backtracking. They're walking out on him. I've known Dillon for years, trained with him many times, helped him. I'm guiding him. I'm training him for this, and I guarantee a win. I hope the lad shows up. He tried to put a bill on us if we don't show up. We're going to put a bill on him if he doesn't show up. For sure I'll train him. I'm getting into camp myself after this. I'll get our team organized, and I'm going to bring Dillon on board. I was training with him when I was in New York. I was in New York for about a month or so, and he's in a great space mentally. He's revved himself up. He was in a bad spot. Now he's picked himself back up. Now he's in a great spot. It was great to see, and I back him all the way. Francis Ngannou reacted to the UFC pretending like he doesn't exist. This tweet was going around yesterday. It says, only Cameroonian in UFC history. UFC hates Francis Ngannou. Francis retweeted it and added this photo. Francis also posted this to his Instagram. In the caption he wrote, don't let anyone lie and erase history. Speaking of Francis posted some training footage with Mike Tyson today. He's preparing for his boxing match against Tyson Fury on October 28th.
I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline, because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Cub Swanson reveals he thought he lost to Hakeen Dawodu prior to hearing the judges' scorecards.
Again, when you got to that point, did you think that the call was going to go to the other direction?
I did. I'm always hard on myself.
Sure.
I didn't think I won the first round. Everyone in my corner said I did. That one was an easy one to call, and then I thought that he picked up some steam in the second, but I know I hurt him at the end of the second. So in my mind, I was down 2 rounds, and I was like, I need to push the pace. He was powerful, and it was taking a toll on me, but I knew my conditioning was good, and so I was just trying to stay in his face. But so I was mostly mad at myself for not being a little bit more active. But it was a chess match in there, so it was a difficult one. But you know, I got to watch it again. It sounds like everybody thought I won at least 2 rounds, so it's cool.
Michael Bisping was not impressed with Nate Diaz's performance against Jake Paul. On the Believe You Me podcast, Bisping elaborates why he wasn't impressed, and Anthony Smith adds that he wasn't impressed with either Nate or Jake.
And Conor McGregor's come out and thrown quite a lot of insults at Nate Diaz. And I'm not saying I agree with Conor, but I kind of see what he's saying. He said, the finger pointing, the leaning on the fences, the walking away. I've seen that done before from Nate. It's kind of old. I wasn't impressed with what I saw from Nate, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed with either one of them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of them did a very good job. If you got a guy that's pointing at the crowd and not engaging in a fight and turning his back to you, and you don't knock that guy out, like, he's kind of punking you while you're beating him. So, like, yeah. It's not super impressive from either guy. I think I'm kind of the same as you. I did a prediction and did a video for a company, and I was definitely wishful thinking as well. And I thought, well, Nate's definitely going to lose the first handful of rounds, and I think maybe he's going to come on later and gas him out and put the pressure on and make him tired, which is kind of seemingly what Nate tried to do. But I think that they the bed. It wasn't very exciting. There wasn't any storylines that were going on. It was just kind of a fight. And so I don't know. How long can Nate, or how long can Jake Paul continue to do this? He's got fights.
He's got the perfect strategy to navigate away from, pardon the pun, Nate Diaz's real fights, because now they're going to do the rematch in mixed martial arts. Okay. I'll be honest, from what I saw in that fight, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake could somehow pull that off. Sure, if it hits the ground, I would expect Nate Diaz to choke him out and all the rest of it. And I know I'm going off topic, but Nate's not really a wrestler, and he's never really been a kicker. Yeah. So unless he knocks him down or forces Jake Paul to shoot and he sprawls, you never know, it might stay on the feet. So therefore, there's another avenue, right? He's also calling out Conor McGregor. That fight's never going to happen anytime soon.
Dana White posts footage of his winnings from the casino. He wrote, @Steve will do it. Hurry up and get home.
Yeah, put it in the bag. I've got it back. Thank you. Okay.
Sean O'Malley reacts to Israel Adesanya being a heavy favorite over Sean Strickland. Izzy is currently a minus 400 favorite. Sean is a plus 300 underdog.
So they
September 9th,
yeah, they had to
I
make
think.
that happen fast. DDP was kind of what we were thinking. Got an injury, blah, blah, blah. But Adesanya versus Strickland officially, Izzy's a plus 300. Sean's a minus 400. Is that crazy? Or did I say that?
Wait, flopped.
Oh.
Izzy's the
Oh.
favorite.
My bad.
No, that's not crazy. I would assume that means Izzy's a decently heavy favorite. I'd almost assume he'd be a heavier favorite, but
I mean, if it's like we've talked about this before, Sean Strickland can grapple pretty good, but Izzy's not easy to take down.
No.
And if it's a kickboxing fight, I mean, Izzy's gonna piece him.
yeah, I agree.
So that's kind of how I see that fight playing out. But you never know in this sport, dude.
Yeah.
But Izzy shows up focused, and he always, he's very smart. He knows what the he's doing.
Yeah, he always has a good game plan. He never goes in there and tries to do something crazy. He just goes in there and he knows he's gonna try and win the fight.
This could be a major upset, or it could be another beautiful finish by Izzy. Who you got? Early prediction.
Man, I'm just hoping for the press conference to be fun. Honestly, I think that's,
With Sean Strickland, it's gonna be. He has zero filter,
Yeah.
so this will be fun. Izzy's pretty good on the mic too. He has some good ones, but Sean's always just funny on the mic, so he'll have some good.
But that being said, I think Izzy is just better, and I think he's been multiple wars and defended his belt, and I think he's just too good for Sean Strickland.
Yeah. So, well, we'll talk more about that fight when it gets closer, but.
Israel Adesanya warned Sean Strickland ahead of their fight at UFC 293. Izzy says Sean will get his jaw broken if he trash talks. On his YouTube channel, Izzy said just some loudmouth talking over and louder than you to try to seem like he's got something to say. He has nothing to say really. He just wants to, I know the guy, I've seen him, I've pressed him before. It's for show, so I know what it is. That's why most people are excited about the press conference, because that's his spot to shine, I guess. But I can rap too. I just decide when I use my mouth and when I don't. If he's talking to me, he's going to get his jaw broken, because when you're talking, you're not focused on the task at hand. Look at Paulo Costa. Even if it's 5 rounds of just dominance and styling on him, display of martial arts, I will be happy with that. But I just don't see that happening. I'm going to knock him out. 1 + 1 is 2. I'm going to knock him out. I never underestimate anyone. I wasn't even thinking about Bisping versus Rockhold when Bisping finally beat him on like 2 weeks' notice. He goes in there and shocks the world. That's a possible reality. My job is to make sure that's not in this reality. That's another parallel universe, another timeline. I'm very aware of the dangers he brings and the stuff he's really good at, so I don't take this lightly. You guys have seen me. You've seen I've been working. I'm not underestimating this guy, but at the same time, I'm not overestimating him. I want to make this look easy. I'm going to make this look easy because of the work that we're doing right now. He's got a nice guard. He's got a good jab. Also, let's be honest, he's crazy. He's crazy. That's the X factor. But again, so am I. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Mr. Pipes Are Calling. It says Dana White calls people kids who are pushing 40 years old is hilarious. The second one's from What More Could You Want? It says for a kid pushing 40 years old, Dana White, 23. And the final one's in reference to Brian Callen trying to get Brendan Schaub to return to fighting. It says Brian Callen literally living up to the kid moniker with that suggestion. Incredible. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.